Hello, wonderful people. Welcome to my channel. Today, I'm going to do part 166 to my random videos and random gameplay series. In the last video of this series, we continued an Edgenuity video, getting to the first hour mark of that, so the first hour of it. I could talk much about that because I got some announcements to make. Two of them specifically. Number one being that finally, guys, just like about an hour ago, I finally beat the final boss of Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Sky, at least the first part of the game, and I'm on to the post game. So yeah, we're finally getting somewhere in that game. Along with that, I gotta make one more announcement, and this is a real quick one. I've got to give a real quick shout out to a person with the YouTube name of Jessica Pika-Heart. She left a really nice comment about one of my singing videos, about me singing the Pokemon karaoke mod songs. Thank you, Jessica Pika-Heart. Thank you for leaving that nice comment. And have a wonderful day as well, if you're watching this. Hope you're having a great day. Anyway, with the real quick announcement out of the way, once again, thank you again, Jessica Pika-Heart, for that nice comment. And we're going to go ahead and get started, guys. I hope you enjoy part 166. We're going to go ahead and finish up. Yeah, because we're going to finish up this Edgenuity video. With that said, we're going to get started. Here we go, guys.
Deducted from her gross pay to go towards federal taxes. Now, it's great that we can calculate this. Now we can use this federal tax amount to help us calculate the state taxes. So again, I'm going to go ahead and clear the screen, so make sure you've made a note of the work that you need to. So we've calculated the federal withholding tax with two allowances. I'm going to record that amount here. That was $53. Now for the state withholding, the state that Mary is working in has 23% of the federal withholding. 23% of that amount will be used to calculate the state withholding. So we need to figure out what $53 and what 23% of that $53 would be. So let's help Mary calculate that. We're going to multiply the $53 for the federal tax amount times the 23%. So as a decimal, that would be 0.23. Be very careful on the decimal. Remember from our previous few slides, you can move the decimal place 2 places to the left. So 23% of $53 would give us $12.19. That would be the state tax withholding. So $12.19 will be deducted from Mary's gross pay for the state taxes, and $53 will be deducted from her gross pay for the federal taxes. You know, all four of these variables put together will help Mary have a good idea of the net pay she can expect to take home. So when you combine, you start with the gross pay, $780 for the 2 weeks, take away Social Security, take away Medicare, take away the federal tax, and finally deduct the state tax. What's left is going to be the net pay. And that's the money that Mary can actually take home then and put in the bank. That's how much net pay that she will earn. So it's great that we're able to help Mary calculate all of this. Oh, here's another example. So for Kenzo has just received now his first paycheck and wants to make sure that all the deductions are correct. So this is important because certainly when you get your paycheck, as you would maybe going to a fast food restaurant when you receive change, maybe you paid with a $10 bill and you get change back. You double check the change to make sure it was correct. Well, the same thing applies here when you receive a paycheck. You want to make sure that you're getting the correct net pay. So knowing how to check and calculate all of the deductions will help you to verify that the paycheck is correct. So let's practice this with Kenzo. We can see from the pay stub here, the biweekly earning in this case is $820. That was the gross pay for the 2-week period. Now we see all the deductions. So $40 for the federal tax, $50.84 for Social Security, $11.89 for Medicare, and then the state withholding tax is $10. Then altogether, that gave us a net pay here of $707.27. Well, let's go through the steps and make sure that this was all calculated correctly. Okay, we really want to help Kenzo out. So first off, for the federal withholding, let's take a look at the chart and make sure that that was done correctly. So $820, that puts us in this category right here. So earning at least $820, but less than $840. Now the withholdings for Kenzo was 3. So finding the intersection of the earnings and the withholdings, we get $40. So it looks like our first part checks here. The federal withholding was definitely done correctly. So we double check that one. Now the state withholding, while we have this window up, let's think about the state withholding. That was a percentage of the federal withholding. Now where Kenzo works, the percentage for the state withholding, for that one, comes out to be 25%. So let's double check and make sure that's correct. If we wanted to figure 25% of $40, we would multiply $40 times 0.25. That would be 25% as a decimal. Now 25% of $40 is $10. So that's done correctly. The state withholding and the federal withholding are both correct. So that's great news. So that leaves for us Social Security and Medicare to check. I'm going to go ahead and clear some of the work off the screen so that we have room to record the rest of our work. So please make sure you make a note of anything you need to in your notes. If you need to put me on pause, feel free to do that. So now we're double checking Social Security and Medicare. So for Kenzo, on the Social Security, the $820 bi-weekly, if we spread that out over the course of a year, Kenzo is not going to be above the $87,000 mark. So we're going to stick with the 6.2% for Social Security. So let's calculate and make sure it's done correctly. $820 as the gross pay times 6.2%. That would be 0.062 as a decimal. When we multiply that out, it gives us $50.84. So that's good news. That means that the Social Security withholding and the deduction for Social Security was done correctly. So we've got one more to check. The Medicare. Medicare, regardless of how much Kenzo makes, was fixed at 1.45%. So we have the gross pay that Kenzo receives times the percentage deducted for Medicare, and that was 1.45%. So as a decimal, that's 0.0145. So be very careful on those decimals. When we multiply the $820 times the 1.45% as a decimal, we get $11.89. So also good news, the Medicare deduction checks out. So then we could also go so far as to double check and make sure that the addition and subtraction is done correctly. So $820 minus the $40 for the federal withholding, minus the $50.84 for the Social Security, minus $11.89 for Medicare, and then finally minus the $10 for the state withholding tax. When you subtract all of those, we double check the math here for Kenzo, we do end up with $707.27. So it looks like in this case, Kenzo's paycheck is done correctly. But as you well know, it's so great that you have the math skills to be able to double check, because we certainly want you earning the net pay for what you deserve. I'm proud of you for using your math skills and really putting them to good use to help calculate your own net pay. I think it'll really help you in making some of your decisions, which will come up in career paths and financial decisions. You guys are doing great to learn the skills now. Now you want to think about when you do explore these career paths and financial options, you want to really think about, will you have enough money to cover all of your expenses? So if you have this job and you have the gross pay coming in, you take care of your deductions, take those away from your gross pay, and you're left with this net pay. Will that net pay be enough to cover your other responsibilities? Such as bills you're going to have to pay, money you might have to pay back for loans, all sorts of expenses that you're going to encounter. So will your net pay be enough to cover those expenses? Well, guess what? You've just taken a great first step in understanding how to calculate your net income. So your net pay that you'll receive is an excellent first step. Now you're ready to really make some smart decisions. I'm so proud of you guys. You did a great job today. So we've got some great lessons coming up, and I really look forward to working with you again. I'll see you real soon.
We did it, guys. We made it through gross pay versus net pay. I'm really sorry about the lot of noise you probably heard earlier. I really am sorry about that. I was kind of eating something because I'm just letting you watch this, guys. I think I want to sit through every lesson again. This is the new one. Understanding net worth. I think this is also one of the teachers that never smile. You know how we just got to talk about the woman a few minutes ago about Gail? Well, now we're getting taught by a man, I believe. Another man that never smiles, unfortunately. And this is 17 pages long, by the way. Let's go and get through this to see what he wants to talk about. Yeah, it's him. Remember him, guys? And let's get started.
To construct a personal finance record.
Oh gosh. Let's do it.
So, how can you determine your net worth? In the warm-up, we compared values of different objects. Now you will learn how to construct a personal finance record and how to determine your net worth. Income is money that you earn. Some income would be wages, tips, bonuses, allowance, and money you make back for investments. Expenses are money that you spend. Some things that you spend money on would be utilities, food, clothing, transportation, and medical insurance. Remember, there are other things that could also fall under income or expenses. Now go ahead and identify some of these yourself. Now you will sort income and expenses.
Drag it down to the correct category. The income for this section was bonuses, hourly wages and tips. The expenses were gas, entertainment, and food.
Now let's move on to learn more. You can list your income and expenses in order to create an income statement. Usually, you make a monthly income statement to reflect the money you're earning and spending each month. Right here we have the date of the monthly income statement, September. As well, we have income sources. Here we have wages. That's all the income this person has, so that goes into total income as well. Then we also have expenses. Things like food, rent, and transportation, as well as clothing, medical insurance, and car insurance. When you total them, the total expenses come to $1,080. To find your net income, you subtract the total income and the expenses. And here the total income is $1,420 in the month of September. Go ahead and do this on your own.
I'm gonna get something to drink, guys, while you're watching this. I'm gonna get something to drink.
Now you will try an example of calculating net income.
Consider Adam's month income statement, which shows how to calculate Adam's net income. Correct answer for that one is $3,100 minus $1,310. That gives you $1,790.
Now that you know how to create a monthly income statement, let's learn more. The first step in determining your net worth is taking stock of your assets and liabilities. Assets are things that you own that have economic value. They have a positive economic value. Things like a house, car, computer, artwork, furniture, savings account, or a checking account, and things that you have in investments in stocks or in bonds. Liabilities are debts that you owe to an outside lender. Things like mortgages, rent payment, car loans, student loans, or credit card bills are liabilities. Identify some of these on your own. Now you will sort assets and liabilities.
The assets for this one are bicycle, savings account, and laptop computer. Liabilities are car loan, credit card bill, and rent.
Knowing your assets and liabilities enables you to determine your net worth. Now go ahead.
When it comes to protecting Gypsy culture, this matriarch takes no prisoners.
You may have heard the term home equity. Equity represents ownership in an asset and it applies to more things than just a house. To find the equity in an asset, you subtract the asset debts from the asset value. For instance, a house is valued at $200,000. The owner has a mortgage of $125,000. To find the equity in the house, we do the value of the house, $200,000, and take away the mortgage he still owes, $125,000. The equity in the house is $75,000. In this case, the value of the house is an asset, where the mortgage is a liability. Now go ahead and find the equity in different assets on your own.
We'll continue.
Now try calculating the equity in an asset.
Dorisha owns $9,000 on her car loan. If the value of her car is $15,000, what's the equality in the car? Well, I put answer for that one is $6,000.
Now that you know about assets, liabilities, and equity, let's learn how to use these concepts.
Here we go.
Remember our lesson question, how can you determine your net worth? So far we've learned about assets and liabilities and how to calculate net worth from a balance sheet. Now we're going to learn about income and expenses and how they relate to net worth.
I'm going to start. Oh yeah.
A balance sheet is one way to list your assets and liabilities. It shows a snapshot of your net worth during a specific period in time, usually monthly or quarterly. The balance sheet will list the date, and then it will list assets and liabilities. Here, Teresa Smith's assets include cash and investments, as well as a house, a car, and the jewelry that she owns. Her liabilities include credit card debt, student loan debt, mortgage, and a car loan. The net worth is the difference between the total value of your assets and your liabilities. If you have a negative net worth, that means you owe more than you own. The total assets for Teresa Smith add up to $217,000, whereas her liabilities add up to $136,300. To find her net worth, we're going to subtract liabilities from assets, and she has $80,700 in net worth. She has a positive net worth. Go ahead and do this on your own.
Alright.
Have a memorial fund fit for a king. So have you ever worked with Gypsy, like how they do things? Actually,
Find the total assets and liabilities.
By the way, the total value of Jasper's assets are $15,800, and the total liabilities $4,400.
Now let's calculate Jasper's net worth. How can you determine Jasper's net worth?
The correct answer is the C answer, $15,800 minus $4,400, which equals $11,400.
Let's move on to the next segment to learn more about net worth.
But see, there's like one problem. My mom thinks that she's going to be walking behind the packet. What?
A net worth statement shows the difference between what you own, your assets, and what you owe, your liabilities. It reflects the financial status of an individual for a given year. A net worth statement is much like a personal balance sheet. It has the same components, assets, and liabilities. It's just taken less often, usually just once a year. This net worth statement is a snapshot of the year between January 1st, 2013 and January 1st, 2014. Again, we have the total assets and the total liabilities. To calculate the net worth, we do assets and take away the liabilities. Her total net worth here is $88,200. She has a positive net worth. Remember, if you have a negative net worth, that means you owe more than you own. Always try to have a positive net worth. Read the problem carefully to calculate BJ's net worth.
BJ owns a house worth $250,000 with a mortgage of $450,000. He has $3,000 in stock investments and $1,700 in a checking account. He owns a piano worth $1,800. He also owns a car worth $18,000 and owns $6,000 in car loans. BJ wants to create a net worth statement where BJ's total assets, liabilities, and net worth. BJ's assets total $274,500, by the way. I ain't gonna calculate with you. You don't have to listen to the answer and see if you figure this out yourself. I ain't got time. I want to get through most of it. I want to at least get through most of the math section today. That way we can Next time we do this, we'll have like 1 or 2 math lessons to do left, and then we'll move on to English. BJ's liabilities total $156,000, and the net worth is $118,500.
Remember, net worth is how much you own, subtracted by how much you owe.
In the Buckeye State, Lexi is engaged to a forger, but Mom Marianne...
You can create a balance sheet or a net worth statement to give a picture of your net worth. The money that you can put in cash and investments is going to be your net income and comes from your income statement. In both cash and investments. Again, your liabilities can be the ones that you would have on your personal balance sheet or your income statement, but a balance sheet and a net worth statement give a bigger picture of what your net worth is. You take the difference between your assets and your liabilities, and that tells you what your net worth is. Again, remember, you want to shoot for a positive net worth. That means you own more than you owe.
Let's go to the last page.
You get rid of them, or you get rid of Lexi.
Now you will try an example of calculating net income.
Which would you use to determine how much money you have left over to save each month? I got this one wrong both times I had a chance to. Correct answer for this one is an income statement. Which is weird that we brought on that. He wrote it down right in front of our faces. When I first did this, I didn't realize that. Well,
now that you know how to create a monthly income statement, let's find out more.
let's find out more at the end of the lesson. Well, that's like a second introduction or something. Make sure it's not introduction. It ain't. There's a summary and an assignment and a quiz. Do the summary. Oh yeah. Let's wrap up this lesson, guys.
Remember our lesson question for today: how can you determine your net worth? We talked about the value of assets, including your home and your car, and also the amount of money you owe in liabilities, like in student loans or in mortgage payments. These concepts have helped us answer the question, how can you determine your net worth? Let's review what we've gone over so far.
Let's do it. Bingo.
Our goals for this lesson were to learn how to create an income statement and a balance sheet, and to identify assets and liabilities, as well as to calculate net worth. Remember, you can use your income statement to organize your monthly income and expenses. You can use a personal balance sheet to organize assets and liabilities on a monthly basis. And we can use an annual net worth statement to organize your personal finances every year. Amelia owns a house worth $200,000 and has a mortgage of $145,000. She owns a bike worth $250,000 and a car worth $12,000. She has a $2,000 car loan and an $8,000 in a savings account. What is Amelia's net worth? The first thing we're going to do is calculate Amelia's total assets. Remember, net worth is assets minus liability. Her assets include her house, her bike, her car, and the $8,000 she has in savings. When we add that all up, we get $22,250. $220,000, $250 in assets. Her liabilities include money she has to pay on the mortgage, as well as her car loan. When we add that up, we have liabilities of $147,000. To find her net worth, we subtract those two, and we end up with $73,250. Amelia has a positive net worth of $73,250. That's all for this lesson. I'll see you next time.
I smile. I was like, what? You actually smiled? He didn't, but what if he did? And I was about to say, what? That guy never smiles. Not in that one, anyway. Not in that lesson. We have finished that, unfortunately. We got a lot more. That's one's a personal budget. And then financial resources. Then keeping the financial record. Then tax and gratuity. Budgeting and being a wise consumer. A smart shopper. And making connections. Buying a laptop computer. Adding decimals. And subtracting decimals. After that, it's all we got, because until I get help with the unit test, I can't move on down here. So we're going to start with our personal budget lesson. Let's get to it. We got a minute, guys.
Budget. A budget is a list of all income and planned expenses.
Then,
Income. Income is money coming in through wages, allowance, or other sources.
and then,
Expenses. Anything on which money is spent is referred to as expenses.
with that, we're going to go ahead and begin the lesson. Before I do, I'm saying lessons are in this unit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 9 lessons in this one. This one's going to be very long. It's the first. There we go. Let's see what she talks about in this lesson. Here we go.
Welcome! We've got a really exciting topic today. We're going to talk about your personal budget. How do we work through it? How do we make a budget? But first, let's warm up with some essential math skills that we're going to need in today's lesson. So Landon here, he works for Ford and More, and he earns $10.25 per hour, works 25 hours per week. But the question is asking us, what is Landon's annual salary? So that means we're going to have to figure out his salary for 1 week's time, but then multiply that over the course of a whole year. So let's try it out. First, let's figure out how much money he makes in 1 week's time.
We'll do that in the next video, guys, because time's about up. We'll be done with this video by around next time, so yeah. Hope you guys enjoy. I'll see you for part 167. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye, everyone.